everyone, welcome back to What's Going On. I'm going to be making another plain and simple summer dress again. I feel like that's like the aesthetic for me this summer, is just plain and simple. Something I can just throw on. I want it to look a little vintage, I want it to look cute, and of course use thrifted material. So today I'm going to be using another bed sheet, but this one is super basic. It is just a full-size cotton baby pink bed sheet. That's it. Last week I made one of my favorite dresses so far this summer. I took a chance and I used a pattern that I rarely ever use. I used a new look pattern, and I even said that it's not something that I normally go for because it's very cookie cutter, kind of looks a bit cheap. And then Words of Wisdom, which, you know, username checks out, says it's very Sears catalog. And that's exactly how I was feeling. But it actually turned out, and I really like the dress. It's a blue and white pinstripe, and I did a bow sleeve, and I absolutely love it. So I thought I would give New Look another chance, and then maybe see if it is just the illustrations that are throwing me off, and the patterns are actually pretty good. And this one is no exception. I'm using New Look 6587. Whew, this, it just doesn't look good. Like, if I saw this dress, it wouldn't be something that I picked up. I don't know. Maybe it's the print though. Maybe it's, I just don't like, you know, whatever material they use. And like, I use bed sheets, so I shouldn't be the one to judge, but it just doesn't look like it fits her very nicely. And it's just kind of looks like a craft project. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a little too harsh. She looks great. Just don't like the dress. But it has everything that I kind of want for this look. I really like the button up. I like the rounded neck. I do want some type of sleeve, and it has a nice skirt. I think I'm going to be pattern hacking a little bit and not doing this complete dress. I actually don't want a full button placket all the way down, which is shocking because I love button plackets. But I think I just want the top to be one and then the bottom just to be a regular skirt. And I think I might throw in a side zipper, which I hate side zippers, but that's what I'm picturing, so I'm just going to do that. The other thing is the sleeve is a little bit short, so I think I might want to maybe poof that out a little bit. I don't want to have a complete puff sleeve, maybe just kind of like a loose sleeve, but bring that down just a little bit. And for the skirt pattern, I might use one of my other McCall's patterns because I think I want it a little bit more full. So technically I'm only using the top of this dress. I don't know. I'm hoping it's just the picture, and maybe I'm wrong just like last week. We will have to try it out and see. So that's why I'm only going to be using this cheap bed sheet with it. It's kind of like a practice, almost like a mock-up, if you will, for this dress. I'm using a bed sheet, trying out the pattern, seeing how it fits. If it turns out great, awesome, I have a baby pink dress. If it turns out like crap, at least I practiced. I'm going to see if I can get this dress done all today on a Saturday. I really dressed up for you guys, you know, Saturday morning, really put in the effort to look nice.
First you gotta do the truffle shuffle. Come on! Do it! Come on!
I just want to sew and be comfortable. I didn't feel like getting dressed today. It's my day off. So I'm going to show you the fabric, and we're going to get cutting. let me show you all the things I did. So I did the darts. And I actually did that way that I discovered a couple weeks ago, where you draw a chalk line over the dart and then you flip it around onto the fabric, match it all up, and then you draw the chalk over, and then it transfers the chalk onto your fabric. And it worked pretty well. I think it would obviously work better with a bit of a darker fabric or a different color chalk. But the darts are in, I've pressed them down, so they are finished for the back. I did go ahead and I just serged around all of the edges for all of the top pieces, just to get it out of the way now, because I know I'm going to be pressing most of these seams open, so it's done. For the bodice, I really didn't feel like playing around with facings and things like that, and on one of my last projects, all I did was, because this is going to be the button placket, basically what you're supposed to do is to use this facing to go on top of it, and basically it just sturdies it. I didn't feel like cutting out an extra piece, so all I did was make the placket kind of piece longer. So I just extended it out 1 inch and then 5/8. So then I just pressed under 5/8, pressed under the inch, and basically when it's all put together, it's the built-in placket. And I did that for both sides. So now that just kind of goes over there, and that will be my bodice. The one thing I am worried about with this pattern is it doesn't have facings. You're supposed to use bias tape and do the top of it. I don't have pink bias tape, I have white. I'm kind of thinking if I just press it under, you know, 5/8 all around, and then I can just tack it down in places so there won't actually be a stitch line up here. So I'm thinking that's probably what I'm going to do. Now I'm just going to pin these to the bodice, and I'm going to put the whole bodice together. Along the one side, I think I'm just going to do a base stitch so I can remove it later, but I can press it and get nice clean lines for the zipper. I ended up making a facing, which is insane to me because like I feel like a couple months ago I was intimidated by facings, and now I just like whip them up because I didn't like how just flipping it over once was looking. So I ended up just making one, traced out the outside of the bodice and the back, and then just serged it all together and put it in. So now I like the front of it. It looks cute. It fits. But buttons always scare me because sometimes there's that gap. So I'm going to try really hard to not have that, but I think it'll be okay. So I think I'm going to go throw the sleeves on super quick and then start pleating the skirt.
In a wigwam built of shamrock green, we'll make those red men smile. When you're Mrs. Barney, eat much Barney from Killarney's Isle. I take care of you. I'll be quite as true. We got love and there and true. In a wigwam built of shamrock green, we'll make those red men smile. When you're Mrs. Barney, eat much Barney from Killarney's Isle. Gone down upon the marijuana side. Some great race must call you big thief, then I'll be your bride. You're that daisy, whispered Barney with the smiling face. All my family were good runners and were...
So I've decided to go with these buttons. I think I'm going to do about 7 I measured down, which seems like a lot, but hopefully it'll keep it closed. But as I was going through them, I found a lot of very poorly made ones. These don't even have holes. And then this one looks like a little face. That's what you get, I guess, when you thrift buttons. So I have the buttons in. I will sew the buttons on probably later tonight, but that means the top is finally done. Now I'm going to pleat the skirt, gather it up, and attach it. Is that exciting to you? No, I guess not. Okay. So it's the next morning, and as you can see, that's done up too. It's quite big on me, which is so frustrating. Anyways, I don't have time to talk about that now. I'm going to have to just fix this. I'm going to have to take the zipper off. I'm going to have to detach the skirt and the shirt, bring in probably on all sides, just near the bottom. The top is a bit, is really big. But if I bring in here, bring in the back darts a little bit, it might be okay. Maybe just wear a padded bra. There's a lot, which I knew because I copied the other skirt, but it just doesn't really look nice with this one. So I think while I have the skirt off, I'm honestly going to take off a little bit off both sides. Basically redo the whole dress. Yay. My hair's done for the reveal later, so hopefully there'll be one.
I've got the oh-so, you know, feeling caught my sweetest gone. I mean, I've got it bad. I've tried to make believe that I'm not sad, not a single soul to cheer me, and I'm so forlorn. No one to hear my cries, unsympathized. Nobody knows but my pillow and me. Nobody knows half the troubles I see. It's my delusion. Life is not a sweet song. It's my How come Henry dear, said Mrs. Henry Brown, you always disappear when the evening sun goes down. You eat my meat and drink my chicken soup. Then I notice that you fly the coop. You can't pass through that door without your mama anymore. 'Cause mama goes where papa goes, or papa don't go out tonight. Mama goes 'cause mama knows you can't be trusted out of her sight. Mama's got a feeling that she must be near, just to help her papa keep his conscience clear. So Mama goes where Papa goes, or Papa don't go out.
Not a huge fan of this dress. This is actually like the first dress I made out of a bedsheet that I think looks like I made a dress out of a bedsheet. I'm super happy with my Floral 50s, one that I made a few weeks back. I've made a couple throughout the year with bedsheets, and this is, which is strange to me because I've used such, you know, like floral or paisley patterns that look more like a bedsheet. So you would think using, you know, a cotton sheet that's just a straight shot color wouldn't make me feel like that. Like, I know the fit is not the best. There are quite a few mistakes. I guess I can start off with the positives because that's actually a shorter list. That usually doesn't happen. I really like the sleeves. I like the length of them. I like the poof of them. They're really nice. I got a lot of movement. I really like the sleeves. It's too bad that I kind of made up my own pattern for them and my own length for them because I don't know if I'll be able to replicate them, but I'm really happy with these ones. I really like the button placket. I'm really happy with where the buttons are. They're very equally spaced and I'm just happy with that. Not bad. I like the length and I also like the hem. So that is pretty good. I even am happy with, oh, see, I did a good job. I can't even, oh, this side. I couldn't even tell what side the zipper was on because I actually did a really good job on a zipper for once. It was like, finally, but it was the, you know, second time I put it on, so. But aside from that, there's not much else I like about the dress. Let me count the ways that I hate this dress. It could also be because I'm kind of mad at the dress because I ran into so many issues. So maybe I'm just like hating on it because, oh my God, it's so hot. You know, like everything was going really well all Saturday. I spent the day doing it. I put it on and I hadn't put the buttons in yet. So I was like, let's put the buttons in first before, you know, but of course, if the buttons weren't going to make that much of a difference. There was quite a bit of room in there. I knew I was going to have to fix it, but I had put in the zipper on. I guess I was just really praying that putting the buttons on it and closing it up, it would change the look of the dress. Saturday night, I put the buttons on. I got up really early yesterday morning, tried it on with the buttons, and it was not flattering at all. So I ripped out the whole side, I took out the zipper, I ripped off the whole shirt from the skirt, and then I worked on the top. So basically what I did was on the princess seams, I brought it in, I wanna say at least 2 inches on both sides. On the side seams, I brought it in probably about 1/4 of an inch, and then on both back darts, I probably brought it in another 1/2 inch each. So that's quite a bit of fabric that I took off in just fitting of the bust. And you know what? It does fit now. I'm really happy with it. It zips up really well. I like the look of this, but it didn't do anything for up here. I can literally fit a family of squirrels down here. It is massive. And like, how do you fix this part? Because pulling it up here, yes, that would fix this area, but it doesn't do anything for over here. So it's basically like I would have had to go in and cut this almost on a diagonal to bring this over. And I didn't even change anything here. It was all the exact same size as the piece that I started with. The other thing I had to do was I felt that the skirt was way too big for the top. It just made it look really heavy. So I went in and I took out, I think, 10 inches on each side. So 20 inches total out of the skirt. And then I repinned it. I really liked the look of it. There was a bit of gathers. I ended up pinning it together, and then I don't know what happened. The material's thin. Maybe my machine pressure is off. I don't really know, but I was putting it through and you can see I started on this side, I went all the way around, and then there's a group of gathers right here and then over the seam, and then it did the same thing coming around, continuing this way. All the gathers are on this side, so it's almost like flat here, but the gathers got pushed over here. So if anyone knows why that happened, because I've done a lot of gathers before and that's the first time I've ever seen this happen before. So if it's the fabric, if it's me, I don't care whose fault it is. I just want to know what happened to make them all go, you know, to one side. And I didn't notice it, which again is completely my fault, but I think I just had enough. I guess that's like the other really annoying thing is that I stuck to the pattern pieces. So, you know, I know that the back measurements aren't the same as your finished measurements pieces. So one of the pieces on the pattern has the finished measurements and it had 4 inches extra with ease. So you would think, okay, well, there's your problem right there because you added 4 inches. No, I ended up going 2 sizes down so that I would actually be the sizes of the finished measurement because I didn't want it to be that big. So I have no idea how I went 2 sizes lower and it still turned out that much bigger. And I even measured my pieces after, before I started putting them together, and they were all equal to what the pieces were. It's just so frustrating. And like, maybe this dress does have potential if I fix the gathers a bit, if somehow I manage to fix the neckline, maybe I'd really like it. But it's just at this point, already spending a whole day making it and then spending a whole other day fixing it, I just don't feel like fixing it yet. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things with sewing is you spend so much time doing certain projects, and if it doesn't turn out the way that you want, and then you spend a lot of time fixing it and it still doesn't turn out, you get a little discouraged. And for the most part, I can go back in and fix some things, but maybe it's because I'm already, you know, disappointed with the dress, but I just don't have much desire to spend any more time on this dress right now. And again, it still fits. It covers everything it needs to. It's a cute dress that I can just wear when I'm sewing downstairs or around the house. I probably wouldn't go out in public in this because it's too messed up. But it's perfect for around the house until I finally, if I ever finally get around to actually fixing it. But again, I always look at it as how much I've learned. I got to do buttons. I'm really happy with my zipper that I did. I ended up starting to tailor a little bit, and I think I did a pretty decent job bringing it into my size. So even though I don't love the dress, I'm still really happy with everything that happened, kind of, sort of. A little bit. And you know what? That's the best I can ask for. Not really having a nice dress at the end of it would have been better, but I'm still happy with the experience. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you kind of enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, and I hope you subscribe. I will see everybody on Tuesday for my next video. The bucket. This is a part of the bucket. Bucket. Oh my goodness. Why is this always so hard for me to say? Ugh, jeepers. Ew, sticky. Really need to guard. Speak words. Show you all the bed. Ugh. How did I start doing that again? Bleh. Wow.
Don't do a lot of soupies.
Why am I saying that so slow? Just